Yeah, it's allowed to, so we can go into the field. No, I haven't, yeah, I'm not surprised. Even in the last minute chance.
Bit of dialogue.
You're live.
I'd like to welcome everyone to April 2nd Commissioners Meeting. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from March the 19th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the March 19th meeting as submitted.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve accounts payable vouchers.
I make a motion to approve accounts payable vouchers.
I second that.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
And approve the payroll docket.
Make a motion to approve the payment docket as submitted.
I second that.
Have a motion and a second. Those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
So be. Aaron, you have the floor there.
Thank you. Erin Thomas, Executive Director at Lifetime Resources. Catch a Ride is one of the services that we provide across 6 counties. We do about 50,000 trips a year. It's public transportation available to anyone for any purpose. Here in Jefferson County, we do a little over 12,000 trips a year. A couple of years ago, NDOT started a process by which each county has to designate us as the Section 5311 provider, because we actually have to submit a grant application on an annual basis for our funding. And so they just want to make sure that there's only one designated provider in each area. So I'm just here probably, I think, for the 3rd year in a row, just asking for that designation to the resolution that we sent over. So happy to answer any questions or anything.
We don't need to do a motion. Do we need to do it?
Right.
We don't need to do
Yeah,
it.
you just have
We
to
do.
do a motion.
Okay.
I make a motion, we accept the resolution number 2026-08 for designation of Lifetime Resources for transportation.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Uh,
So you-
All right, thank you very much. Will you just send me those, copy of the, yeah, thank you.
thanks, Aaron.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Okay. Mr. Josh.
Good evening, how are you guys?
Okay.
I'm here on the order and notice concerning unsafe building for property at 7749 East Brooksburg Back Street. And this property has been, it's got a lot of trash and stuff piled up there. I'll give you some pictures there to look at. It's a public nuisance. It's been, I think the case started back in 22 after I started here, but I guess it's been a problem since before that. The Plan Commission back in 2020, I believe, had sent somebody out there. They'd got some businesses and stuff and donated a dumpster and got some help to go out there and clean the property up at that time. And
Is it in the front row?
it's come back into violation for quite some time. I think this pictures kind of speak for itself. Anyway, I've asked the property owners to clean it up a few times. Really don't get much response. Any questions for me? So, yes. Are you guys with the property?
Yes,
sir. Anything you want?
Property owners, because we don't own it.
Okay,
My mother owns it and she's dead.
okay.
I pay the tax on it
Also, can I throw in a few things
straight.
if I could?
Sure.
I'm the son and grandson over here for the property. We went through a bunch of here recently, cleaned it up, a bunch of spring cleaning. Actually, we cleaned it up last year before the winter hit. Then we had a little bit more we threw out, and when the winter hit, we waited and waited for it to get done, you know, taking off a couple bags at a time, because trash man said I can only take off 6 bags at a time, 4 to 6 or something like that. Which, I don't know about that, but either way, I've been working on getting it all cleaned up for them. I mean, if you have pictures of it today, I mean, that would be really presentable. Which I don't have pictures of it today. Also, it's all been over some time now, the same party complaining. They've also been complaining on different properties in there. My neighbor over there was just talking to me about it. He was telling me that honestly, the property is in Brooksburg, so the property is past Brooksburg lines. If that makes a difference or anything about that, which I don't think it does, or I don't know. But either way, it's gonna get cleaned up, so I mean, I don't know. Those are old pictures, I don't know if you had any with it.
Well, some of these are from March 18th, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, what it looked like 2 weeks ago. That's the thing, it's-
So I can use them.
So commissioners,
all that's gone. There's only a couple things piled up back here, which are kid bikes, kid toys. There's a little bit of stick brush pile up back here, a couple dressers that when spring cleaning got out, we haven't been able to get them off yet. This truck's gone. All that's been taken down. The tree stump in the front's been taken down. All the front area has been cleaned up except for a toolbox and a couple of little kid toys, stuff like that. Yeah, everything's pretty much cleaned up. I mean, there is a hot water heater out front, but it's just sitting there there's no purpose for it, really just sitting there. I haven't had a truck to take it off or anything. Everything in the backyard's been cleaned up, everything around it, so I mean. These are all pictures from,
Sure. 22.
yeah. Which I mean, I think there's a tree that fell and had to get cleaned up. Problem if you all wanna go drive out there and take better pictures of today, you know, either way.
this last pictures, I think, were from about a week and a half ago, maybe a week ago.
The 18th. 18th.
Yeah,
Once the weather had cleared up, I'm gonna be in there, I think get some more cleaned up on it, but.
there's, the whole case, there's about 12 pages of pictures, if you're welcome to look through them. But I guess my point is, it doesn't stay cleaned up. If it does get picked up for a day or two, it doesn't stay cleaned up very long. I guess I would like to see something that's put together that they either agree to keep it cleaned up or let the county come out and clean it up and you know, put fines and taxes,
Sounds
put it
good.
onto their taxes.
I just feel like it's becoming harassment every year.
Well,
I mean, yeah, it's here.
you can say that, but from 22 and it goes back even further, it's been a problem.
But yeah.
And it was cleaned up in 20 or 19 or 20.
About 18,
19 or 20,
About
there
it.
was
We cleaned it up
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the homeowners didn't, because dumpsters and the queue.
Lee, didn't Lee take
Yeah,
the skid
Steve-
steer out
a
there?
private party paid for the dumpster to be taken out. And then there was a couple businesses in town that donated time and equipment and so forth. And we went out and put in a full day on the property of cleaning it up. We did get some assistance from the young man that's speaking this evening. He helped on some of that day and maybe had a friend with him as such. It was very interesting. There were things that personally I felt probably were absolutely just junk that needed to go into dumpster at that time. Was told, no, they were good things and they put them over in a pile. And when I'd come by 3 years later, the same piles were still sitting in the same places they had been that day. And the it had continually looked worse and worse and worse. Recently, it's been probably, it's been over a couple of weeks ago, but a couple of weeks ago, I did drive by. And it was in far worse condition than it was at the time we cleaned it up back in 19 or 20. You know, and I feel the county has been over backwards to try to work on the property itself.
I don't, sort of interrupt, I don't see how it was in far worse condition than then, I mean. Now, if you would have said you drove back through there about 6 months ago when I went through and I cleaned up the whole house of. My sister brought in a bunch of stuff out there, and I just took everything that she had packed in there, threw it out. And then had a dumpster come in, loaded the dumpster up, all the way up, everything around it. And yeah, there's some things that have been accumulated, you know, like here and there. But other than that, it's been getting cleaned up and it's been staying pretty clean the past couple of years, other than the past year itself. In the past year itself, there's a lot of doing with inside remodel, redoing holes or here, there, and that, and just making more room for the wheelchair accessible for my sister, and which, I mean, it's just hard to get things taken off as soon as you get them out of the house, you know, finance and all that stuff like that.
You think you had another 30 days, you could finish it up?
Finish what of it.
I mean, the rest of
The only thing that's really left to do is just get everything that's burnable, take it up to everything, you know, big burn pile. Burn it, it's just a bunch of wood, like falling dead limbs, the tree stump in the front yard that's rotted out. Wait for it to dry out, so that way we can take it out. I mean, there is like a mattress there right now, but that's in the process of getting taken out, we're trying to get it. Because like I said, it's just financial, getting it, you know, everything, and having a vehicle to tow it all.
you said the water heater's still sitting there, so.
Yeah. I've got a small pile of scrap out there that I saved around the yard, that's, you know. That I was gonna take with the the hot water heater, you know.
What's your thoughts, gentlemen?
I mean, I think we've often tried to work with people, but this file goes back quite a number of years, and I mean, if we can see improvement in 30 days, I think it's better than the county having to pay to do it. But I think there needs to be improvement. If it's, you know, in 30 days it looks the same, then I think we need to do what Josh has recommended.
Can we set in place today that if nothing improves, if it doesn't, if it's not mediated in 30 days, that we can set some fines or something that can be added from that day forward until it is fixed onto it?
I mean, once again, it's not like we're starting today and saying, okay, there's an issue. I mean, at least as far back as 22, and then it would have been back as far as 19. So can you at least, you know, I think we like I said, we don't want to, we want people to show that they're going to try to make it better, and without
Like I
doing.
said, if you had pictures of it today, you'd notice that there was a big improvement already.
Well, then that would say that the job that you have to finish the cleanup should be far less than what these pictures show, right? Right.
What, 5 days ago, you know?
Well, once again, we're not trying to strong arm people, but at the same time, it's at least 6-7 years now, and maybe longer, that we, you know, and it's not just, I mean, it's your neighbors, you know, neighbors who try to keep their house clean. I mean,
Actually, it's like really one, and
well, but I mean, you can see in the pictures, the two down the door, 2 houses down from you, both of those look pretty clean, and so, you know, they've had to keep theirs clean. Because, so just
There,
if you could,
so one far in too, so that's what I don't understand. The two houses you're talking about are owned by the same person, and they're getting called in because they own the church down there, they're trying to get tore down and this and that, but they.
well,
applied and
yeah,
they
but
tear
that
it down.
doesn't have anything, I mean, their front yard, at least what I can see in the pictures, it looks pretty clean,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so, all we're asking you is try to get yours cleaned. So if you can do it, I mean, if in 30 days you think you can, sounds like you've got some of it already cleaned up, right? I'm okay with waiting 30 days, but if not, you know, it's been seven years now.
But it hasn't been like that, it's just been like that a couple of months during the year, you know.
Well, then we wouldn't have pictures as far back as 22 that shows that there's been an issue, and then we know even before that, there was an issue,
And
so.
also, they're going through a heart attack and nobody was out there, you know, just a bunch of other stuff that. It's
And a boy,
equaled up to just everything that led up to it. But if you give us 30 days, we'll get it cleaned up, and you don't have to worry about it again.
But
As long as you're not gonna get picky about kids toys, then.
There's a lot of great children.
kids and toys, that's
So if we would say May the 7th, that's, don't we have a commissioners meeting then?
May 14th.
early in May.
The gap.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
Okay.
20.
well, if we would say May 14th. And then a week or so before that, he can
Sure.
take a look at it,
The month.
then we'll. All right,
All right,
you,
we'll talk about it then.
yep,
So how do we need Pat to get involved with a letter then to, or just
You
be
can't
okay?
do all that, you got my word on it.
Okay,
Yeah, we
But-
cleaned it up.
I think everything, we already have an order that's in place.
okay, okay,
It's just a matter of executing it at this point.
okay,
And like I said, if there's, Pat said if there's gonna be any fines or anything placed upon it, you would have to discuss that and vote on it.
okay, so we'll do that at
We
the,
can do that on the 14th if it's still an issue.
Okay.
Can I get a phone number or anything from you to
Yeah.
contact you?
Yeah, it's 812-701-3605. What's your tweet? No, indeed, and
All right, Michelle.
thank you.
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
Okay. Mr. Anderson, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How are you guys today?
You?
What's your county attorney? Good afternoon, gentlemen. Appreciate your time today. Wanted to introduce Rick Anderson with Verigy. I got my two associates with me, Cole Rolls and Greg Goodnight. Greg's a former mayor of Kokomo, who does some work with us. So anyway, wanted to get back in touch with you guys. So last time we were here, we talked about doing an assessment for you all. We got your utility information. Your auditor is extremely helpful in getting us information back. So
She is.
give her a raise, but
Council.
Unfortunately, we don't control that.
But, and Mike Laram, who I don't believe is here, was extremely helpful in getting around and showing us things. So he's an awesome guy as well. So real quick, just to review, on the left-hand side of your packet, that's got all the little blue bubbles. There's guaranteed savings legislation in Indiana, allows you guys to go out and do these guaranteed savings projects via an RFQ or RFP. What we do in the buildings is we look for things that are impacting utilities. So lighting, HVAC, we do a lot of solar, we look at building envelope, windows, doors, insulation, all that kind of stuff. So, but we kind of do a full scale assessment of your buildings to look at potential improvement. I gave you a couple case histories, which I'll get into here in a minute, but, so let's get into your particular, situation. So, on the right-hand side, there's a report that we did. The objective, collaborate with Jefferson County, to develop energy conservation measures that decrease energy usage, produce sustainable energy,
reduce utility costs and provide substantial benefits to their buildings and community. You have to really look at this thing as, it's energy and operational savings, but it's also infrastructure improvement. We do a lot of work in older buildings. We just finished up the Ripley County Courthouse. I think it's the second oldest courthouse in the state. It's basically now a brand new building inside an old building, but we'll get to that here in a minute. But your particular project highlights, scope inclusions, the courthouse DDC control upgrade, flush the courthouse chilled water loop, treat the water, smart thermostat upgrades, replace old condensing units, insulation at the highway garage door seals, LED lighting upgrades in quite a few of your buildings, solar PV at the jail, highway, and the health department. So if you look over here on the right-hand side, it's kind of a compilation of what we're talking about as far as a project cost. And also, we're talking about doing solar at 3 of your locations, one being the jail, and then highway department and the health department. And I'll get into the jail situation here in a second, but that's your largest utility user in the county. So we're talking about potentially offsetting about 40% of your bill at the jail, which is pretty substantial. Okay, if you go to page 2, on that packet, it basically talks about, the stuff that we're talking about doing. So courthouse HVAC and controls, upgraded the courthouse building controls to DDC, remaining systems and pneumatics. A flush chilled water loop and replace the treated water, allowing the chilled water pumps to operate only during cooling season. R22, I don't know if you guys know much about refrigerant, but the oldest refrigerant that's still out there is called R22. We're now on like two more success, R410A, and then
454.
there's even a newer one. Yeah. So, but you guys still have some R22 systems, so you can still get the refrigerant, but it's pretty cost prohibitive, as you
We
probably
just gotta
know.
have somebody else get rid of theirs and then we take
As
it.
you probably know, so yeah, it's a big vicious cycle. So, but talking about replacing 2 condensing units at the EMA 911 building, 1 condensing unit at the health department, and then 3 RTUs, condensing units at the old jail. Lighting. What a lot of folks like to do is that like to kind of homogenize their lighting system. So what we do, and I think you've got some flat panels in a couple, I'm trying to remember flat panels in a couple buildings.
Yep.
The nice part about the flat panel is that is your light fixture. So if I'm gonna look at a fixture that you have here, you've got bulbs, ballasts, and you have these lenses that get pretty ugly after time. So by putting a flat panel in, that's your light fixture. If those go out, you just replace the flat panel. The nice part about that is they have a 10-year warranty. So, but a lot of folks like to kind of homogenize to know that, hey, I've got these one particular light fixtures in the majority of my buildings. That way you can, if you want to stock fixtures and that kind of stuff, it just makes it easier on you guys. The extension office, so we're talking about fixture replacements in courthouse, community corrections, extension office, annex building, prosecutor's office, and the old jail building. At buildings without, number 4, that buildings without building automation systems, replacement of thermostats and smart thermostats, except for the EMA 911, which these already exist. This allows for remote accessibility to authorized personnel and greater ability to set back and optimally control energy consumption. The nice part about that is if it's a weekend, you have a system that goes down or something that's an issue, you know about it on the weekend rather than coming in on Monday and having to shut down departments and all that kind of stuff. We also noticed at the highway department insulation over the office ceiling, which has air conditioning. This prevents the space from losing cooling to the surrounding garage space. And then also door sealing to limit infiltration of air and heated cooled spaces. And then also number 6, replace boilers at the old jail with new higher efficiency boilers. If you looked at the next page, this talks about where we'd be putting in solar. So as you'll see, the top picture is obviously the jail. Good
The
news.
animal shelter, or was the animal shelter?
Good news is you've already put in conduit there for potential. I think you were smart enough to do that when you built the jail. So that'll get rid of some of the costs, but at least this shows exactly where the solar might go at the jail. There's the system at the highway department, and then also a system at the health department. Okay, next thing is a cash flow.
So, on the
Yeah.
new jail, just electricity? or hot water?
Well,
Your thoughts on hot water?
We're really just talking about, cutting back on your electric rates. Yeah, now, it would potentially help out with the hot water
We
situation.
use a lot of hot water.
Exactly, but we'll evaluate that to see exactly, what we can do there. So if you go to the cash flow, this shows you how a potential project might cash flow for you guys. So, annual utility savings, so we talked about this guaranteed energy savings situation, so that annual utility savings that goes all the way across, that's what we would be guaranteeing you guys, that says, I'll give you, for instance, in year one, $128,548. If I have to audit that every year with the state of Indiana, if I save you 127, whatever, I have to write you a check. We've got a situation with the city of Shelbyville right now where we've got a project in line there for about 5 years, and we're $600,000 over what we projected to save them. So normally we try to kind of under promise and overperform.
Sure,
Yeah.
you don't stay in business if you don't.
So this would be an idea of exactly what you would potentially save and how that works. If you looked under utility rebates, we talked about that Inflation Reduction Act situation, which I think I explained to you the first period. We potentially can get you guys back a one-time check from the federal government for $667,000. You guys can either put that, towards the project, however you would fund it, or you can go buy whatever you want with it. But it's a check from the federal US Treasury. Have you guys been to St. Meinrad before? Over near Jasper, it's an art gallery. We just,
drove past it.
okay, we just did a geothermal and solar project for them for about $15 million. And they got a check back from the federal government for $6.1 million. That's what we're talking about, potentially getting you guys back for, and this does not come down the road very often that you get that opportunity. So it's a big carrot. And that's just on the solar, that's really just on the solar piece as the part of the project.
How long's that good for?
Well, it's running out, so you pretty much gotta get this going, let's say by the third quarter of this year.
I know you got the year 2023 at the top there. Like, okay, well,
Oh, whoops, well, 2023 is, I gotta get on my developer. That should start off 2025, I apologize, yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be around, if you get moving on this thing, it'll be around for the rest of this year and into next year a little bit, but it's not gonna be around forever.
Yep.
If that makes sense. So, know how this is kind of a data dump right now. Know we're giving you a lot of information, and I deal with a lot of counties. So again, typically, we gotta get you guys excited about what we're doing, and then there's the county council. How do you guys do with your county council?
the president sat back there.
County council?
Yes.
Yeah, so some counties are fantastic. They get along great with their county council. Others, the stuff I went through up at Ripley to get our project through was pretty unbelievable. So we got it done, but it wasn't easy. Let's put it that way. So we realized those guys appropriate the money and the contracts with you guys, so.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, I have. Yes, I am. So, yeah, I'm dealing with Scott County. I'm dealing with Scott County right now. You talk about it's not good. So,
Pretty, isn't it?
it's
not pretty, is it?
not. So, anyway, but guys, at the end of the day, I talk about this all the time. Very few capital projects, if any, that you do pay you back anything. I mean, this is a really good financial payback, for Jefferson. So I think I covered everything. That was a quick Reader's Digest version. I know you guys will have some questions.
So, I see.
Yeah.
Boilers, I thought how many boilers at the old jail? Was it 3?
I
Or is it just they
three.
replaced?
That's okay.
Yeah, three
That's a good question.
RTUs, condensing units at the old jail.
Yeah, yes. And I know, you know, we understand what you're doing there. You're trying to
Yeah, well-
repurpose that into a
Juvenile.
juvenile detention center, yes. And.
So is the R 22, I guess it's used throughout or just the courthouse?
But I believe so, yes. Any place that you've got R 22, we're talking about.
Okay, so the three that are listed there, the.
Yeah. Couple other things on here. Oh, I apologize. Couple other things. The courthouse has a septic issue, which you guys probably know about. I think there's an odor, which you guys have had numerous people trying to check on. So, we put that in here to investigate that and see if we can do anything to help you with there. Diagnose and fix the health department classroom space conditioning issue. And then you guys have a Johnson control system at the jail that's apparently been kind of a headache. According to the folks at the jail. So, I put in here, you know, we'll try to either retro commission that, which means kind of get that up to the way it's supposed to be, or we'd like to help you get that fixed, because apparently that's been a real issue.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you say building envelope, is that like where you survey it for the, I will call it hot spots where we leak cool air, we leak hot air?
So I call building envelope, doors, windows, insulation, roofs, anything as far as what I consider an envelope. So yes, we do some thermal imaging to find out, you know, where you're losing,
Mhm.
where you're losing and where you're gaining, where you shouldn't be. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
So a lot to digest, I understand, they let you guys, you know, digest, and if you have any questions, my card's on there, and maybe I'll come back in a month and see.
I mean, some of these things, I mean, like piecemeal and some of these things, I mean,
Yeah, so
I think that.
here's what I tell people, I've given you everything, sometimes including the kitchen sink, but I've given you everything. You don't have to do everything. If you'd like to phase the project, you know, into 2 phases, 3 phases, whatever it is. Dearborn County did a project where they did $1 million 1 year, $1 million year 2, but you know, it was that type of a phasing situation. So it's your project. You know, whatever you think your really quick needs are, what you're gonna impact your utilities the most. And I was just at a county a couple of weeks ago and somebody said, yeah, we've got Irish Mechanical here all the time. They're great. That's not a good thing to hear.
Yeah.
Because it's just the meters are running and you just keep throwing, you know, good money at bad systems, so. Right. We're trying to help you get rid of some of those, so, yeah. If that makes sense.
I would think our courthouse chiller shouldn't be in that bad a shape. It's not that old.
No.
And we have what is it, Sarah, every quarter treated or tested
He comes every month.
every month.
Yes,
And it's fairly new. We
Yeah,
have to replace it.
I don't think that, it's
Hopefully
the
that-
old jail. is really
Absolutely.
the
Yeah,
HVAC.
can't argue with you there.
No, so anyway, yeah, I'll come back maybe, next month's meeting.
Okay.
And again, in the meantime, if you have any questions, you know, typically you guys, we come up with hey, what's the project that we'd like to focus on?
Mhm.
If it's part, whatever else, then typically I go to council, make a very similar presentation to council, talking about the project. And then if you guys can come together on, hey, this is the project we want to do, you have to advertise, twice in 2 local papers, get responses back 37 days, but I can.
We only have 1 local paper.
Okay. I think they'll let you do a county paper and your website. But I can actually provide the sample RFQ to you that your lawyer can take a peek at. That's again another cost that you guys won't have, so.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you for.
you're welcome.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
What's that?
Can I get a card too?
Yeah, you want a copy too?
I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. And don't pay no attention to me.
We went easy on
Yeah. I guarantee you, I have some that No, we get along.
Good.
In general.
Now he's backpedaling. We get along.
We get along pretty good overall.
That's
That is
it.
the caveat.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a happy Easter.
Thank you. You
Okay.
too.
Thanks, but
Take care.
See you in a great way.
Okay, Brian, you wanna give us a good, bad and ugly on the,
All right, so tonight I've got a proposal from Beacon Street Consulting to develop a comprehensive park plan for the county-owned parks, which is Kruger Lake, and I'd like to include the western parcel in the scope of this too,
sure.
and anything else. Anyway, Beacon Street is Don Lop. He's here with us tonight. So he's from Floyd County. He's written several of these. You should have a copy of the proposal with you, but just to run through it real quick. The scope of the work would be to develop a park plan that meets DNR requirements. There are grants available through the DNR for a variety of things, land water conservation fund. That can be used for campground construction, new campground construction. That's something we'd definitely be interested in. I know they do grants for firing ranges and things like that too. But a lot of them, the first thing you look at, you gotta have a pretty park plan on file with the DNR to even apply. So this would be the first step of getting us to that, okay? So the scope of work on this would be Don would conduct the public outreach, the public meetings, gather all the information, draft a park plan submitted to the DNR, get their feedback, take that feedback, submit a final version and get it approved through the DNR. So beginning to end, Don will take care of everything. $6,500 is the amount. That includes printing, incidentals, I'm assuming travel, mileage, everything, all in. Got 1 year. We can, either party can terminate with 60 days notice. The rest of stuff's just boilerplate stuff. You know, the consultant will not be an employee of the county, but he got his own insurance and things. He can work for other entities, but he'll avoid conflicts of interest, such. So it's pretty basic. I've sent this to the county attorney. He's reviewed it and said it's fine with him. That's pretty much it. I've been talking to Don, I've been with him a couple of times. He's ready to go. We got Richard at the park board here tonight too. Talk to him about it.
You okay?
Yes, and I have discussed
Richard wanted to
with the
ride
other board
himself.
members, and
Okay.
this is something that we've been wanting to do for a long time.
He wanted to ride himself, but I said,
And,
come on, let's let Don do
We're
it.
we're glad that it's happened.
Actually, I looked at writing it too, and I was like, wow, let's go get an expert on this. So, and I just happened to run into Don in one of the RDA meetings, so it was a chance encounter. It's proven beneficial.
I'm sure it was, he was. Nothing, I mean, your campgrounds, I mean, it was like when we were doing the jail, these guys come out of the woodwork, hey, I hear you're building, a jail." Anyway, but that's fine, that's how we find people.
Yep.
So,
So, you got a copy of it. I sent you some, I think I sent it to you,
Mhm.
where he's written others for
Yep.
other counties, seen his work. I think the price is more than fair.
it's like a prerequisite.
And we gotta have, if we wanna
Without it,
get on any DNR stuff, we gotta have this. So it
Absolutely.
opens a lot of doors, especially
Yeah.
the work we're wanting to do in the Kruger Lake area.
Yeah.
Make some improvements there. So,
Maybe even out to jail, so,
yeah.
yeah, okay,
a park plan at the jail,
no, shooting range.
oh,
I know DNR helps on those too, so
Yes.
that would open the door for that, which we desperately need.
So there it is. If you guys on what it take to get it approved and signed and ready to go, but that's it in a nutshell.
I make a motion, we approve the consulting agreement with Beacon Street Consulting for development of a park plan for $6,500.
I second. Absolutely. Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We can get you to, there's just room for one signature on there if you want to sign, Bob, and then we can get it done after the meeting. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks.
Okay. Next, we have Health and Human Relations Commission appointment.
So we've had a couple that have dropped off, but we had an application come in for Susan Anderson. And this will be for a term going through December 31st, 2027. So
Okay,
the board, the commission made this recommendation, so they're good with that. So I make a motion, we appoint Susan Anderson to the Health and Human Relations Commission with a term expiring December 31st, 2027.
A second.
have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
So therefore Susan Anderson is appointment till December 31st, 2027. Okay. Department updates. Who wants to go first? We got three back there.
Oh, wow.
It's gonna be a hard act to follow, I can tell.
Yes. Usually you wait till the end, and this time you were, it's that public.
Oh, he's got my
class.
Christmas cards. That's what-
It said, don't be aggressive. Well, maybe aggressive is a hard word, maybe that's too much, just
Yeah.
take the initiative.
I'll make
That's
this-
that's a better word.
I'll just make it short for you. We are extremely busy. Thank you. No, but I'm serious, no here. We've had.
No, you're really busy.
We really are. We've had crews out running on bridge decks currently, cleaning bridge decks and drains. So I don't honestly know how many bridges they've cleaned, so. They started in the DuPont area and they've worked their way south. I know they've made it to Deputy Pike, cleaned all the bridges to there. Now they've moved down to the China Manville area and some spots down there that needed it, so. I'm not sure. I didn't take notes on that. That's my bad.
Got some help with the rain last night.
Yeah, sorta.
Brought more stuff to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, we've had crews out doing that. We've several culvert installs, several driveway culverts installed. Just keeping up with that currently and then cleaning up the ditches to get them to flow correctly. And then, we are also in the process trying to do all this, finishing our CCMG roads, getting new culverts installed, trying to implement a ditch line or a flow line and getting them ready. So we're working on it. We're not there yet, but we're getting closer.
Do you know about when you'd start with
On-
those projects?
So you mean the paving part of it? We're technically, they can start any day. April 1st would have been the day that they can start. But they've given me a notice of probably June, and they're gonna start in the east side of the county and work their way west, so. Which will be good, so. And then me and John went to Poplar Ridge. So that's usually a big one to bring up. We've been in contact with Vital Farms with a gentleman named Tom Zimmerman. That's why I had to bring the paper. I couldn't remember his name. They're done with construction up there on the building. I'm not sure if he's moved chickens in. Did he say? I don't know if they've done that yet, but they're right there. They called the other day wanting to know right away to put a fence installation up there. So we got that figured out. So they're working on their fence. But with them being done with construction, as soon as we get done with a couple of these CCMG roads, we're gonna be up there to fix several issues up there. We went up and it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. But we will be in talks with them after the repair of those spots to have them pave that. Maybe we can work something out that they pave it. It will only be 1 mile. It won't be the whole road, but it'll be the 1 mile that they would be using. Which is fair, they're gonna have the heavy truck traffic, so we wanna make sure we're repaired correctly to deal with the truck traffic, and then if they're willing to pave that part, that's just outstanding of them, so. That's all I have on Poplar Ridge, and then the big news down in the China Manville area is April 27th. Sugan Hollow will be closed to start construction on Bridge 107. Along with that closure of Sugan, Brushy Fork Road will be closed. It will be closed from Little Brushy Fork Road to Tate Ridge, so there will be no through traffic there. Now, we know there's a couple of houses there. They'll have to exit and go towards the Tate Ridge side to come around, but that's for construction safety and everything. There's just too much equipment and too little space down there, so they have to have it. But other than that, that's all I've got today. So, anything else?
Tell the guys thanks for K Road and 62, because it was a nightmare after that little rain we had.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
trees down that came off the banks, and you
There was
think all
several
them
areas
old
like
ash
that.
trees would be done, but they just keep giving back to us, don't they?
yeah, they keep giving.
Yep.
We've got a lot of dead trees, which I think you sent an email the other day. I know I didn't respond, but John did. We're looking into the one over on 500 North there, or 500 West, sorry.
Yeah. North
I don't think,
500,
yeah.
north 500.
You're
west.
going north, so it's west, it's not, yeah. So we're looking at that, and then we got a couple others that we're wanting to look at if we're gonna have a tree company come out and block those down, because they're close enough to power lines that we're not gonna do it, just, we don't want to jeopardize
Yeah.
it, so
No,
we would have them block it down, we'd clean it up at that point, so we just gotta get everybody together to go assess the situation, so.
Sometimes the power line will help us out, won't they?
Well, yes, usually if it falls on it, so.
yeah, they kill the power while we clean it up.
Yeah,
But, yeah,
usually. But we've got several of them on, old telephone lines, but you can contact them all you want, and they just I think they just laugh when they hang the phone up.
You can always tell which one, I mean, it's pretty easy to tell which one's a power line, which one's a telephone line, but you can tell. If it's just a telephone pole and it's been knocked in half and it lays there, for sure, it's just a telephone, because they don't
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah, they won't come out and do
They don't
anything
care.
with it. They'll call us to clean it, and we're like, we can't because it's on a line, we're not gonna, yeah.
We had a pole go down in our backyard and Duke put up their lines, but they didn't touch anybody else's lines, and so they just laid there and
Yeah,
no one would come do anything with it,
yeah.
so.
Well, it happens to us quite often out, when we're bush hogging the edges of the roads, cleaning them up, we will find a line, and then, whose fault is it? They blame us, and we're like, well, it's an overhead power line, we hit it with a bush hog that's only, so who's responsible? It usually ends up being us.
They wanted to charge me, I'm like, I don't have an account, I don't know how you will charge me. They said, I know how we'll figure out whose it is, though, I was gonna cut it, and then they would know if someone would scream who didn't have service,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
But that's all I have for this evening, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Brandon,
I don't have much, but our new voice logging recorder should be finished installed next week. And we are working to deploy Rapid SOS. It's a technology, it's free to us, it's paid for by the state of Indiana, so we're hoping to get that going sometime in May, early in there. So it should help us out, like find locations better, direct first responders to those locations a little bit better, so. We're excited for that. Other than that, it's business as usual. Questions?
thank you.
Well, appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Just in time.
Matt's turn.
Still sit right behind you, or you sit up
Yeah.
I don't really have.
You don't have a shawl or anything?
Sorry?
Didn't bring the,
No Christmas cards or anything?
oh,
No Christmas cards at all. I don't really have too much. We're just buttoning up the class that we're doing next week. It's like I said, just little arrangements for a drone mapping class that we're gonna do. So, but they put it out. I'm not sure how many apartments from certain Indiana are going to be, so. Some good class, and I'll be good for the group in the area and all that. And like I said, I think that the most important thing is that partnership with Purdue and the program that they have there, like get plugged into that. And I'm hoping to get some benefits of that. And the only other thing I got is my daughter was crowned last week as the United States of America. So yeah, proud dad moment.
Mhm.
So,
Congratulations, man.
Mm, yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We can do that. She gets really simple rain.
Yeah.
of course.
Especially the hair.
Brian, you got anything for us?
Really, most of the last couple weeks since the last meeting's been on the ready to documents, so we got all those done and submitted, sent you guys copies of them. And, I'll just football back in their court, so we just wait, so we'll see.
Till they ask for more.
Yeah, I haven't got anything back yet, so,
We need this, okay.
yeah, so no news is good news so far. Other than that, just catching up on some other things where, I've been working on most of my time on that. Sent you guys an update on email, so should fill you in on everything going, but any questions, concerns,
No.
everything's good?
Thanks for what you did on the ready. Appreciate
Everything's
that.
good, a lot of help, so, thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, Richard, you got anything?
I do have two just really quick things. One thing is, I'd like to talk to Jason, and we can do it on the way to our vehicles. That's all longer it'll take. Okay. And the other is, the park board is we set up a quick meeting for next Tuesday. But I don't know the exact time. It'll be 5 o'clock or after. And we really appreciate it when you guys want to come. It'll probably be out at Kruger.
Okay,
And I haven't heard any back from everybody about the exact time. Normally, it's around 5:30, and we're gonna talk about the vegetation thing that's going on out the way, and see if what we wanna do about that, or if anything, and, I'll work out some of the details. Get back with you.
yeah, let me know.
I will.
I'm
I'll
off.
definitely let you know
Yeah.
what time. Yeah, it'll be on Tuesday though.
Okay.
Everybody was okay with Tuesday.
Okay. Anybody from the public? Oh, well, last chance. No.
Oh,
He's gonna get.
He'll be back
one
in
of
2
these
days.
days, Yeah, okay. Ladies,
I guess I have bad news. Property
We don't wanna
tax
hear it.
bills hit the mail on the 6th. So, watch your mailboxes
Oh, no.
next week.
Take it down.
Yeah. So, and as always, if you have any questions, all the offices are willing to help and we'll work through it. And see, there has been cost table updates. I guess they're already live online, so I've had several calls already. So there's been some people whose taxes have went up. Most people's have went down, so it just depends on your assessed value and how you fell in the cost table updates.
How you fell.
How you,
land, is anything like landed?
yeah, fill in there.
Sir, you got anything? Got anything, Mr. Lee?
Well, no, cause I can't open my email.
He just said it was
Oh,
okay.
it was working until we got here. He said, your email working? I said, yeah, and I was gonna tell about Josh's update for the juvie center, but I can't. Josh is working at the juvie center. He sent an update, but I can't get it now. So I'll read it the next time.
You want to meet us?
Yeah, he's gonna give us an update like every couple of weeks, so, yeah. You can get yours open. I could open it until I got here.
Well, I'd say that maybe.
This says now it wants my password again. I thought, oh my gosh, time I do all that, I'll just,
It may not work, you put your password in.
yeah, no, sir, I hadn't seen that.
You guys make it bigger, but.
Oh, my God. I couldn't see that with glasses.
Oh, no,
You might wanna read Sarah's.
yeah.
There you go. I can read that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, let's see, let's just do just kind of like, just 2 or 3 highlights here. Key activities and meetings, met with the county prosecuting attorney to discuss legal intake and case flow considerations for the juvenile detention center, met with the juvenile probation officer to align program expectations, met with the chief deputy sheriff to review facility, need transfer procedure and staffing, community partners. You know, where does it move up and down at? It's not moving.
Use,
Oh, there it is.
use the arrows.
It came alive. There was no arrow.
Now you're cooking.
Oh, yeah, here we go. You gotta watch technology with old people. Met with executive director of CASA, so he's working there. Begun planning outreach to school districts. He's been busy. Met with several vendors. Engaged representatives from MPS Printing for forms and things like that. Funding and grants. He's working on grants already, which we talked about him granting a lot of these activities down there at the Juvenile Detention Center, and there are more than I thought when I talked to him last week. Budget and cost development, project timeline, risk and issues, next steps. So we'll get another update. Thank you, Sarah. It'll just kind of keep you in the loop that, it's not all like working like this with your hands right away. It's some organizational things that he had to get going first.
Oh, they outreach.
Yep.
I don't either, so I would entertain.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second that.
All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.
I'd wait. Well, I didn't wait till